Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Kimmy if you're new here. I want to show you guys how to download poses as well as use them in the game. And there are a few things that you will need in order to do this. One, you will need Andrew's Pose Player. You will also need MCC. You can also use Teleporter if you don't use MCC. Max's Match ccworld.tumblr.com/poses is one way to find things. There are various different pose creators that I use. There's so many of them. I like to use Mel Bennett. Joan Bernice is one of them. Catverse is another I use. I like to use, I believe it's Atashi. ATASHI 77 or something like that. Can't remember. I have a whole list. I have a lot of poses in here, just to give you like an example of all the poses that I own. So yes, there is a lot of poses. I want to show you how to put them into your game. I want to show you how to use them in game and show you how to download them. They're very simple. If you download CC, then you know basically it's the same difference. Only difference is it's a pose instead of a custom content. There is like 3 different types of poses mostly. There is in-game poses, there's gallery poses, and there's cast poses. I myself prefer the in-game ones because I'm more of like a family-oriented in-game pose. Now the cast poses are good for if you make CC. Like if you make hair or hands or whatever, if you use the cast poses here, they'll do all the trait pose. They will show you poses that pose in the cast. That way you can get pictures of your Sims while they're dressed up or whatever. It's also good for pictures for thumbnails or something. When it comes to gallery poses, those are better for if you post your people on the gallery. Now, one thing about gallery poses is that you might want to keep them separate from your in-game poses due to the fact that they can mess your stuff up, let me tell you. Some don't tell you that they're in-game, some do tell you that they're in-game. It's very particular on how you watch and look at it. But, let's say for example, I want to get a pregnancy pose, okay? So I would click this specific spot. I had it all separated for you. All you gotta do is click which one you want. So I'm gonna do pregnancy pose for example. It'll open up a new file or a new thing, or take that current one and reload it to that. I have it set to open a new one. It's easier for me. That's why I have so many tabs open. And basically you find the pose that you like these examples. That's so cool. Let's see. I want this pose for example. I'm looking for this one right here. So I just want to go and gonna hit continue reading, and of course again it opens a new file for me. You go down, you just go, and right here it'll say download usually, and it'll have like a little link you can click on. If you notice this, I can only highlight. This has a little clicker sign. You click it and it opens it up, brings you over here to wait this little thing again. And sometimes it opens a lot of screens. That's the only downside about posing, but that is fine, because I know how to work. I know what sites work, what sites don't, so I'm okay with that. You didn't click here to go to the Patreon to download. Like it's another link. Now, some of these poses you have to pay to get. And quite honestly, I'm not one to pay for poses, only because of the fact that when you're on limited funds, you can't do so. So, that's just an example of something that have hindering. Now, the ones I like to use is Catverse, and she has a lot of poses, and it's a really great thing that I like to use. So I'm going to show you how to download her pose, because this one I know for sure is free, so we're good. This is a trusted site. You do not have to worry about ad block on this one. Now, let's say for example, I don't know, I'm just going to pick something that I like out of this that I might actually use. It's gonna have ads on some sites because it's a free site. So basically, like, here's the picture. Let me show you the picture here. I love this picture and I love Catverse's stuff. So this is perfect. All I have to do is go over here. It just says you need a pose pair or teleport any sim. If I click this, I'm gonna show you what this is so you guys know. And I'm sorry in advance if I'm all over the place. I'm trying to remember things as everything else. This here is the teleport thing. Now, this is very glitchy with MCC, so I would not recommend getting it unless you don't use MCC at all. It's the only time I recommend it. And honestly, if you're on PC and you use mods, I highly recommend MCC. Because, one, I could change outfits while they're in the pose. It's a perfect thing. That's the main reason why I like MCC. But, as I was saying, if you go back to where you get the poses, and it says right here, it says in-game and all-in-one option. All-in-one option means that the sim is like an animation. It'll switch to the next pose if you select it. Now, we're going to go with, I'm just going to get one of these and then show you guys in-game how it works. You'll download this, and it'll pop up. For me, it's a Windwarm, so I have it automatically pop up. Also, another thing that might be handy to have is a Windwarm. W-I-N-R-A-R. Basically, what it does, it'll unzip any files that need to be zipped. So, example, this is a zip file. Zip files have to be unzipped in order for you to get the package file out of it. Now, when it comes to putting your stuff into folders, you'll bring up file management, which is the little file folder you see down here. And you'll bring up this area over to your left. You'll see documents. You click on that. You want to go to Electronic Arts, Sims 4. And as you can see all this lovely stuff in here, you go straight to your mods folder. If you do not have a mods folder, one, you can start Sims 4 and it'll automatically make you a mods folder, and then you just put your mods in it. Or you can create it yourself and then start Sims 4. Now, as you can see, I have a lot of stuff already in here, which is fine. I have tons of poses already in here as well, which again, is fine. So I'm just going to put it in here just to show you. I tend to put all my folders in a pose folder for poses. So I just put pose, for example. And what I'll do is I like to drag my screen and split it when I do these things. You guys don't have to, obviously. I just do it for me because it's easier. And since this pops open already for me, I'm just going to go over here to this little zip file. Only take the package file. It's the only thing you need. And you just drag and put. That's all you gotta do. And then once you get done this, you just close it out. That's all you gotta do. It's really simple. Now that you got it in game, all you have to do is make sure that you have MCC downloaded as well as the Andrew's Pose Player. If you do not have both of those, they will not work. All you have to do to find Andrew's Pose Player is just type it in. Sims 4. And it's usually the first one. Just scroll on down. This right here, it's Pose Player, and this is what you use. You just go down to a little bit further. Right here to download, you can do either one. I always do the Google because it's easier for me. It'll bring up a Google Drive here, and all you gotta do is go up here to this little symbol. It says download, and just download it. It'll bring up another Windwarm. Just drag this into. I always drag any script mods that go together. I try to grab those and put them into my mods folder directly. So the Sims 4 mods, and then you drag, highlight, and drag on both. I already have it in here, so I'm not going to copy it again, but as you can see, I put it right here. It's the same thing for MCC. You go to MCC, then you go down to Sims 4, and you can go to the first one here, MC Command Center. You want to go to MCC Downloads, and you want the first two. Usually the top two are the most recent. So you want the first two, you click it, it'll pop up Windwarm, you highlight all of it, and you transfer into the mods folder, as you can see down here, just like this. Then you bring up your Sims 4, and you just load a game, do a new game, whatever you want to do. I'm going to load a game. I'm going to use one of my older saves. What you have to do is you go into buy mode first. Well, build buy mode, so first and foremost. I go by the objects function because it's easier for me. And then you go to gnome, garden gnomes. You go to sculptures. And I always get the cheapest one. You don't need the most expensive one. It's the cheapest one will be just fine. That's a couple things. I'm gonna get a couple of these just to have them. Now, two, before you do anything, make sure that you go into the computer and you go to MC settings, notification, console, and menu settings. Then you want to go show menu settings and show gnome menu type. And you want all. Do not do Alt the shift key, because that just means once you shift click it, it'll work. But I just do it all, so it automatically happens when I click it. And that's basically all you need for the pose in particular. Let me show you out here the sister poses right here. And it's Catverse, so she usually has hers labeled pretty well. And just to make sure we got it correct here. So hers is usually pretty labeled well. So all you have to do is, since there's two people in a pose, you have to have two gnomes on top of each other usually. Unless otherwise specified differently, you do it on top of each other. So there's one gnome here, and there's one gnome here. They put it on top of each other. See, there's two now. See? Alright, now you just choose the Sims you want to pose together. Example, you click on the little gnome, you go to MCC Command Center, and you can choose between the two. 9 times out of 10, if you're doing poses, you're doing the ones on the lot. So I'm going to do teleport lot sim. And this is all the people that are around this lot area. And I'm going to use Malik and Merle. So I'm going to use, let's just use, I don't know, Merle. Then I always like to move the gnome out the way. It can mess you up sometimes. And you see, it's still on top of the gnome. And that's the good thing. You want it to be like that. Then you click it again. Same thing. And I'm going to choose, I don't know, Malik. Take the same gnome, move it to the side. Now, if you can see, it looks like the Sims are glitching. Because they're like mixed into one another. And since they are easily accessible, I like to turn to the side. Sometimes the hair pops out, makes it easier. Let's go with Merle first. You want to click him, just regular click, no shift click or nothing. And you go down to pose by pack is what I do. But you can do pose by name if you know the names. And as you can see, I have a lot of poses in here. So let's go find the Catverse one. I'll be back when I find it. We're going to click the sisters pose pack. Now, do note that just because it says sisters and they're females, does not mean that you can't use a male. So I'm going to use this. This is the one confusing part sometimes, but it's really easy if they fix it to where you understand it. So, for example, this is one pose. This is one pose. And that's one pose, and so forth. Okay? Now, each pose usually has thumbnails to tell you which pose you're doing and what they're going to look like. Now, the all-in-one means that they will, every like so many seconds, they will switch to a different pose. Which helps too, but I hate doing that because they move too much for me. You know, I'm trying to get pictures, so I just do pose itself. Now, for Merle, I'm going to make him Sim A. Okay? He's going to be Sim A. And that means for every pose that there is to Sim A, that would be him. So I'm going to do pose 1, Sim A pose 2, Sim A pose 3, Sim A pose 4. Scroll down here. Make sure you scroll here, because if you click out here, it's gonna close this out. So, scroll here, Sim A pose 5, and then once that's done, you close it out. Like so. And then you just switch to the other person, which is his brother Malik. Same situation. You click him, pose by pack, and find the pose. And since I know that she put it with an S, I'm going to go down to where the S's are and just try to find it. See? It's a lot easier to find. Then now I do Sim B, pose 1, Sim B pose 2, pose 3, pose 4, and pose 5. I close this out. Now, I just hit play. So I'll do it on first thing. Let them get all together. See? They get together and posing. Now, what I like to do, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have the Mosquito stuff pack, you can go and, if you go into build and buy mode, and you buy this lovely fashion studio photography tripod, and let's just put this right in front of this. If it doesn't go directly in front, if you have your cheats on, And all you have to do is hold Alt and move it in front directly. I like to get a forward view of them. Sometimes it might be better if you work to the side though, so you get a better angle. But anywho, if you put down the tripod and you put in a camera and you hit text search, that's how I usually search for my things, and just grab a camera off here, pop it on there. Make sure that this little arrow you see on the bottom, that little downward arrow is down here, that you want to be facing away from the people posing. Because, think of it this way. Let's pretend this is a sim, okay? You see how the sim is facing with that arrow, right? Facing this way. If you put it this way, you want him to be facing the camera in order to take the picture of the person. So you have to make sure the camera is facing the right direction. This way the camera is facing that way to take the picture. Now, I'll teleport my lot sim. Let's use Godiva. This is my vampire sim. And go over here and just hit take photo. And she will take a photo of them in that pose. And then, there you go. You get a picture of your poses. And if you don't know how to use this, just use this to get a larger photo, which I like to do because it's better for making smaller and bigger. Then I just get like this. Get a little closer here. The twin, great. You can change the color filter. Make them black and white. Make it brighter outside. You can see them. So forth. Once you do that, you just close it out. I usually pause right after I do that because sometimes it doesn't like to mess with me. And you go to the sim. If you have the sim in your household, just click the sim that you want to change the pose of that already posed up, like this one for example. It says posing, but you don't know what pose it is. Just hit the pose and he'll automatically go to the next pose. Same thing with Merle. Click it and he'll move to the next pose. See? Switched. Now, Godiva here is going to come over here and take another photo for me. She's a vampire, so she's fast. And see how, like, this is off-centered? It's because this lovely little thing is off-centered. So, I'll go into build mode and I'll just move this over. It's really easy fix, thankfully. And then take a photo. Big pose, small pose, whichever. Now, also, if you don't know how to use this camera, there is a up and down feature where you can go to the floor for your sitting poses, which I love because I have a lot of those too. I will show you how that works in a second. You can go, Q goes down to the floor, E goes up to the sky. You can go up to about there. So I like the E pose to go up to get a good angle. I like the zoom in pose with your wheel to get closer or farther away, or you can just use this. I like to use this more because I get more control out of it to where I want it. I want it right there. So, you just take a picture, click it up, and close. So, same thing, same gist. You can also click. I don't know if you can really see this, but I'm trying to figure out a good area to put it so you can see it. But right now, this mouse has a white shadow outline. But if you click it, it has a green shadow outline. So, if you click it with the green, you can move the screen around. If you don't click it, you can't move it around. So, this helps. You get a picture. Close it out. Once you get pictures taken, they will be put into your inventory down here. These are all different sizes. This is the one I'm going to go in. The ones with the little stars on it are supposed to be new. So, we're going to go, and I'm going to show you how to hang up these pictures in your house. So that way you can have a gallery wall of some sort. So we're going to use this wall here. I am going to use this photo. You see how small this photo is? It's because it's a tiny photo. What you want to do is go to your bigger photos, which is this one. There's no way to tell for sure which is which. You just have to put them out on a wall and figure it out. But I like to add a frame, and I'll make it black or whatever color I want. And that's basically all you have to do is get poses in your house to make your house more lively. I don't know if it's a mod that I use or if it's an update or whatever, but I can name my photos. Like this, for example, I could say Merle and Malik teens. And then there, and it'll just name it to Merle and Malik. Get done with that part. Now I'm going to show you some sitting poses just to show you how that works as well. To show you exactly the same. It's the same thing with toddlers and children as well. The same thing. Also, when you're in these poses, this is my favorite thing to do. You see how their outfits are right now? I don't like their outfits. So, I'm going to use MCC. If you go to MCC and once you click them and go down to MC Dresser, and then you go to change outfit and you select whatever outfit you want to see them in. Let's say I want to see him in this outfit. Worst outfit to put him in, but that's the outfit I want to see him in. And then for his brother, I'm going to do the same thing. MC Dresser, change outfit. Let's put him in this outfit. Okay. Now, I have him in his outfit, and that's how cute they look. So I get my thumbnails. I'll show you a sitting pose, just to give you an example how the difference are for picture-wise. Alright, so here we go. We're going to use this pose I have. And I'm going to have Godiva, of course, come over here and take a photo of him. And as you can see, this is a weird angle, right? Like, it's very hard to get the good angle. So you hit the Q, and it brings it down to the ground to make it look more like he's sitting. And you just change up the colors or whatever you want to do. I want to make him in a full mode here. Now I'm going to show you guys some various poses that I found. So you can get different poses. It's the best way I like to do it. What I like to do is I cheat myself the money. I usually say about $5 grand, maybe close to $7 grand. I make a downstairs basement. This is my photo studio. I will make this into a studio to where I can take my pictures at. I got a tripod there, a bunch of gnomes. I have at least 8 in there. And then I have these little studio lights that come with the mosquito pack. And I have a brick background, and when I put someone in there, let me show you what that looks like so you see the difference here. Put one there, and let's put Godiva in here, for example, just to give you a different look. Let's do Godiva, and let's have someone else come down here to take the pictures. So let's just teleport anyone that's here. Levi can do it, sure. And we'll go and put her in a quick pose. Let's do a ground pose for her. Let's just do this one. Then you go and have him take a picture. Then Q as always. And you just fix the thing, get it all fixed up. And I like to use this warm filter a lot. It makes my thing look more natural because there's a lot of bright light. This is too bright. This means it's going to be square sideways. This means up and down vertical painting things. Now the other trick is you can use these to turn your camera up and down like this. This right here to rotate. And this looks weird right now, but it'll make more sense in a minute. You go around like this. Like, let's say I want to go to right here. I can turn my camera a little bit and get a different angle of the photo. If you have any other questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll help the best that I can. Also, if you join Discord, my Discord channel, I can also give help there, as well as you can ask all your questions there as well. I will reply to you personally myself, and or if you find me on Discord, you can message me directly, and I can give you one-on-one help with this, because I know it's confusing. So just let me know. I have no problem teaching you and showing you. Alright, so with that being said, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, like, and share, as well as comment down below your favorite part about this, and comment down any questions you might have about Pose Player, or any questions in general that you would like to see tutorials on. This is my first tutorial for just strictly Pose Player. If you want to learn more about other stuff that I do, just let me know and I'll help out as much as I can. But with that being said, I will see you guys later. Bye!